Good evening, everyone. My name is Virginia Harger, Chairperson of the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, and the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission being conducted via Zoom is hereby called to order at 6:04 p.m. This meeting is also being carried live on YouTube. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I invite those participating remotely to do the same. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
United
of the
States
United
of
States of
America, and
America,
to the republic
and to the republic for
which
which
it
it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Let me do the roll call. Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Amato. Here. Commissioner Tiki.
Present.
Commissioner Lascos.
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Onofrio.
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Donato.
Present.
Myself, Commissioner Harger. Ms. Castro, our Assistant Administrator.
Present.
Mr. Panico, our Consultant.
Here.
Ms. Vernassos, our Recording Secretary.
Present.
Okay, and Mr. Rossetti, our Administrator, should be joining us at around 6:30. For the record, Commissioner Parkins is not available for this evening's meeting. And alternate Commissioner Onofrio, you're being seated for Commissioner Parkins. Could you acknowledge that?
I got it. I'm here.
Thank you. Just a couple of points. Ms. Castro will act as the Zoom meeting host. Commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting. And I ask that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized to make sure we're not all speaking over each other and to make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. Our first agenda item are applications for certificates of zoning compliance. And I understand from Commissioner Amato that the zoning subcommittee met to review the 4 sign applications. So Commissioner Amato, what's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for the first one, which is Midland Development, 320 Howe Avenue, for a sign?
Yeah, we had no problem with the sign whatsoever. I believe it's the barbershop is moving over, so they'll be moving their insignia, and the Midland will go on the door. Is that correct? Yeah. And that, yeah.
Okay.
So no issue with that.
Yeah, they're shuffling some of the retail spaces around. I think the barbershop, the B&B studio is expanding, which is good to hear. So the management office is taking over that particular space. All right, any questions or comments for Commissioner Amato from anyone on the commission? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion for the sign application?
Commissioner Tiki will motion for approval.
Thank you. And is there a second?
I'll second that, Commissioner Onofrio.
Okay, thank you. So on the motion from Commissioner Tiki, seconded by Commissioner Onofrio, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion has passed 6-0. The next one is Barn Tie, 495 River Road, for a sign. Commissioner Amato, what's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for this one?
Yeah, that view there is fine. That's on the monument sign,
Right.
the plaza. And then we can move up. This, personally, I questioned having 2 of those. I thought one on the door would be better. And they haven't come in for an over door, bigger sign. They haven't applied for that yet.
Okay.
Did the commission approve that window sign up above it? By step dance?
You know what?
Good
I
question.
couldn't tell you right now.
we never-
Just curious.
We never approved it, but.
Or
there it
the
is.
monument sign add-on?
No, the monument sign is part of the application for this restaurant.
Well, what about the
Monument sign for that dance one?
No, for the whole thing.
yeah, step by step?
Yeah, I think the monument sign was approved originally, but I'm not sure about when things change.
Is there
So,
any way we could get a little more consistency? And I was under the impression that all 4 panels were going to be blue on white.
okay, so can staff please investigate that?
Don't remember that at all. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what about Barn Tie? If you
Right.
Yeah.
The way it is now, it's black and white.
Right.
Well, also the way it is now is that we have some logos on there that the other three do not have. So I would not be in favor of approving it as is. If anything, it just should say Barn Thai, and that's it.
Or
How
Barn
about the-
Thai Restaurant.
How about the restaurant? And then
Yeah.
it looks like it's up above on the right. We didn't give this any thought. In another language, looks like.
I
Yeah.
do have the applicant online if there's any questions you'd like to direct to the applicant.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So if the applicant can identify him or herself for the record and give us an explanation of what the word is above Thai. And Alexander, can you zoom in on that, please?
On the monument one or?
Yeah,
or-
the monument one.
You go.
There you go.
Okay,
Hello.
go ahead. Identify yourself for the record.
My name is Suki, and this is my
This is
first.
Peter from Ban Thai Restaurant.
Okay, and your address, please?
The address, 495 River Road in Chilton, Connecticut 06484.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So what is the writing above the word Thai?
It was a Thai languages mean Ban Thai is the same in English like a Ban Thai.
Okay.
And the name Thai languages a Ban Thai as well.
Right, okay. All right, so we have the English version and the other version up there. That's fine.
So is
Any-
this, yeah, is this up already or is this proposed?
It's proposed.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Do any commissioners have any questions for the applicants on the monument sign?
Well, I think the point, personally, I'm thinking the point of just having Barn Thai Restaurant and have a blue background would be a good recommendation for this.
Mhm. Okay. Any other commissioners want to weigh on that, in on that? Okay,
So it has.
What about color consistency?
Yeah.
that's what Elaine was just mentioning.
Yeah, they've got both black and blue lettering, but the blue background for
What is-
consistency would be,
is-
I think, desirable. Yeah.
Is that blue really what is existing now, or is it
This is they already take it out.
wait, sir, wait a minute. Or is it an effect from the picture that, how it was taken? So, Ms. Castro, any chance you could do a Google Earth search for
Searching now,
street view?
searching now.
Okay. And I just asked the applicant, maybe you could raise your volume, because you're a little hard to hear.
I'm sorry.
If you could put your volume up, because you're a little hard to hear.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, we're just looking and waiting for Ms. Castro to see if she can find a street view of how it looks existing.
They look like they're white.
Can you go down the street and turn around?
Does look like they're white.
Keep going. Keep going.
Here we go.
All right. Oh, it's on an angle.
A little too far. You can't.
Can't get that from the street. It's on an angle.
Yeah, keep turning. There you go. Turn. And zoom. in. There you go.
They're all white. It looks like they're all.
They're all white. Are
Yeah.
they?
White
Yeah.
background, blue lettering.
And one
So
of them's
then
black.
the old
so-
restaurant they use black. Better. The old restaurant they use a black one.
Sir, if you're commenting, we can't hear you.
The old restaurant, they have a black lettering with the white background. Is
Yeah.
that, but can we do that as well, or
If-
it has to
it-
be blue?
Only if if the other signs are currently white, then do it the same as those.
The background, but she's talking
background.
around the lettering, Commissioner
The
Motto?
lettering could be black or blue as far as I'm concerned, because there's both up there.
Yeah,
There's-
Just,
Yeah.
just not the orange, as right?
What
Okay.
orange?
There-
I think the
Oh,
existing
the
is
restaurant?
orange.
Yeah,
the two lines that say Santos Plaza, that stays as is. You should not take your color from that.
What
It's
I-
blue or black lettering.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay, all
yeah.
right, so that's that, but Commissioner Motto, what are we doing about that picture of the barn?
Yeah, it doesn't read well from that. It doesn't read well to me. I don't think it helps your sign at all.
Well, I
Personally.
think we have to be consistent in that none
Yeah.
of the other signs in the monument sign were allowed to put any kind of logo on there.
Yeah,
So-
so I think that should go. And the restaurant should be black lettering without the orange background.
Right. So
Okay.
just black on white. All right, so
Yeah.
we have that part done. Now, if you go back to the storefront. Okay. So now, one of the things I'm concerned about is that, again, we have to be consistent that all the other storefronts in that little plaza have their signage above the doors. So Commissioner Motto, I think you had said something to the effect of, at one point, one sign on the door, not one on either side.
Right,
Okay,
that's
And-
that's my feeling.
yeah. And I
Uh,
don't have a problem with that, but I would like the approval for both to be contingent on the applicant getting a sign to go above the doorway, just like the other ones are existing, within 6 months of opening.
In the future, but like, and just waiting for the time, we just opening for a couple months, a couple weeks.
Does anybody have any comments about that?
We're gonna do this like.
Yeah, I think what I understood is that they're, waiting to get the business going before
Mhm.
they invest anything further in signage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Which
just
is
don't want to set a
understandable.
precedent about, we're not being consistent with the appearance that others
Yeah,
have
so
to follow.
let's say there's an expectation that there will be a sign in the future.
Yeah, and I like to set a time frame, 6 months. How do the other commissioners feel?
That's fine. 6 months should be okay.
Mm-hmm,
Sounds reasonable.
okay. Anybody else want to weigh in? Commissioner Onofrio? Commissioner Tiki had to step away for a minute.
No, 6 months seems reasonable.
Okay. All right, so is there a motion to approve this application with changing the monument sign so it is black letters on a white background, no logo of the barn, the words restaurant are black on white. The foreign language letters are fine. And then on the doorway itself, one of the signs that are pictured, and with a permanent sign to go above the doorway to be installed within 6 months.
I'll make that motion, Commissioner
Okay.
Kelly.
All right, so there's a motion from Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second?
I'll second Commissioner Motto.
Thank you. So on the motion from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Motto, to have the monument sign changed so it's just barn tie with the foreign letters above it and the word restaurant in black on white, no logo, one sign on the door, and a permanent sign to be installed within 6 months. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Okay, and is Commissioner Tiki back with us, Ms. Castro?
Commissioner Chicky's back, but I will
Good.
abstain because I did miss the first portion of the discussion here.
Very good. And chair votes aye, so the motion is passed by a vote of 5, 0, and 1. So the applicant should get in touch with staff for any clarification that you need. Okay? All right. The next one on the agenda is application for Next Street Driving School at 113 Center Street for a sign. Commissioner Mata, what's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for this one?
Sign was okay. I did question all the things in the windows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I don't know what's on that far left window, what that is. But one, door sign to me,
Yeah.
not the window sign. That
Right.
was what we had discussed, and whatever that is in the
Placard.
in a
poster
window,
thing.
that orange thing, I don't know what that is.
Ms.
I have
Castro,
added
can you
in the
zoom in?
applicant.
Yeah, but can you zoom in on that?
Looks
Yeah,
like
we
a
tried.
post-
We still couldn't make it out, so.
It's the
Okay.
blinds itself, isn't it?
It's like a poster between the blind and the glass.
Yeah, it
No, I
does.
just think it's on the blinds itself.
All right, so, Ms. Castro, you said that the applicant is with us?
Yes.
Okay, so if the applicant can identify himself or herself for the record and give us an explanation in particular about the window, the poster that's in the window?
Yeah, hi, my name is Bob Waters from the Next Street. That's just basically a poster standing out there, can be simply removed. It's not attached to anything.
Okay.
The things you're looking at are just blinds.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there is that orange and black that says exhale on it.
Yep, that's just a poster that's just sitting there held up by the blinds. That could be removed,
Okay, perfect.
taken down easily. It's not even necessary. We don't need that.
Okay. All right, so you're taking over the business?
We have that. It was formerly Airway Driving School, and we've
Right.
Kathy Rodriguez reached out to us to take over her business.
Yeah, there's been a couple evolutions, I believe, for the driving school.
Oh boy, I think she's owned it for quite. Her and her husband had it for a long time.
Yeah, I just
Mhm.
remember a different name, but not
Yeah.
that one. So,
Nice, very nice woman.
yep. Okay, so, any commissioners have any comments, questions, or concerns about this application?
just want to clarify again, just the door sign, not the window, not the repeat on the window.
Right,
That could be easily, that's a sticker that could be easily taken off. That actually went up before, just so we can identify ourselves, as the other sign still said Airway on it. So that could be easily,
Oh,
not a
okay.
problem at all.
Yeah.
okay, good.
I think your name makes more sense to me than Airway Driving School.
I never got Airway. I don't know, but the next street, our whole
Yeah.
goal is to take people to the next street, to take students to the next street.
Yeah,
It
makes
sounds as
sense.
if Airway was more like airplane pilot training.
And didn't we have a railway driving school at one time too? I
Something
thought
up in Huntington.
strange.
Um,
Yeah.
There's a driver education station, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the station up in Huntington.
Yeah. So we're stations, we're Airways. Well, we're the next street, so.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, things have changed since I took driver's ed with Mr. Mahilo and learned how to use the brake on White Street. So, all right, is there any commissioner that wants to make a motion on this sign?
I'll make a motion to approve with the removal of the window signage and poster.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll second that, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, so on the motion to approve made by Commissioner Amato, seconded by Commissioner Kelly for the sign above the door, on the door, and one above the 3 windows, but nothing in the windows itself. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is Stone Gardens Market, 40 Huntington Street, a temporary sign. Visuals that were provided show a banner and a drawing, a sketch of the front of the store. So Commissioner Amato, what's the recommendation? of
Well, we
the-
understand they have 30 days to have a temporary sign up there. And so we were not having any controversy about it, and we're happy they're moving in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any questions for the Commissioner Amato?
Nope.
Okay, so it's, is there a motion to approve with the 30-day timeframe?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Onofrio.
Thank you, Commissioner Onofrio. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, so on the motion to approve with 30-day timeframe from Commissioner Onofrio, seconded by Commissioner Kelly, do a roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Okay, our next three items are applications for accept for review and set a public hearing. First one is application 2309, Teresa Waldron at 161 Quorum Avenue, Assessors Map 118C, Lot 72 in a CA3 zone for a special exception application to convert a commercial unit into a single residential unit. Is there a motion to accept for review and set a public hearing?
I'll make the motion to accept for a public hearing. Commissioner Kelly.
Okay,
Madam Chairman,
yes,
is there a plot plan that came with that? Because I couldn't find one.
I think there's materials that have been submitted, and I'll ask staff to get in touch with you tomorrow.
Okay,
Sure that you do have.
because we should have a plot plan.
Yeah, there's site plan and some other stuff in there, a layout. There's several documents that were submitted that I looked
Okay.
saw online.
Okay,
Right? And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so on the motion to accept for review and set a public hearing made by Commissioner Kelly and seconded by Commissioner Motto, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed 6-0. So the public hearing for application 2309 will be set by staff and will appear on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. The next under new business is application 2310, 25 Summit Ridge RB taping and renovations for Jeffrey and Kimberly Roy at 25 Summit Ridge Road, Assessors Map 124, Lot 23, for a special exception application in a PRD zone for an addition. Is there a motion to accept for review and for staff to set a public hearing?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner.
I'll second
Motto.
it, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay,
once again, Madam Chairman, I would assume we're going to get some additional material that's not yet posted.
I think some things were up, but sometimes it's going on a.
There is
through
a,
I was trying to
Sign
see
stuff.
where the parking was located and how many spaces were going to be assigned to this activity and where any other outside activities would be located.
All right. All right, so staff, again, please make sure that Mr. Panico has the materials that he's requiring. So on the motion from Commissioner Motto, seconded by Commissioner Kelly to accept for review and set a public hearing. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion has passed by a vote of 6-0. And the public hearing for this application 2310 will be set by staff and will appear on the agenda of upcoming meeting. Third is application 2311, 240 Long Hill Crossroads, MP Construction LLC at 240 Long Hill Crossroads, Assessors Map 51, Lot 28, in an LIP zone for a special exception application to allow a business and professional office. Is there a motion to accept for review and set a public hearing?
I'll make the motion to accept the public hearing.
Thank you. Is
I'll
there a
second
second?
it, Commissioner Lascos.
Thank you. So on the motion to accept for review and to set a public hearing made by Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Lascos. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. And
I
again,
assume the same thing applies here, that there's additional material that I haven't seen. Okay.
yes. Okay, And this public hearing will be set by staff and it will appear on an agenda of an upcoming meeting for application 2311. All right, moving on to old business. This is application 2314, S&G of Shelton LLC at 301 Old Bridgeport Avenue, Assessors Map 91, Lot 17 on 1.91 acres, an RBD zone for a PDD and initial development plan approval for 43 apartments with on-site parking. This has been on the agenda in front of the commission for a while, so I just want to go back and recap the sequence of events. The application was accepted, excuse me, for review on June 14th, 2022. The public hearing opened on July 20th, 2022, and that's when the applicant, the architect, and engineer presented the proposal for 43 apartments. 4 members of the public spoke. Public hearing was continued to October 19th, when a revised site plan was reviewed, and the public hearing was again continued. On November 30th, there was further review of the revised site plan. The public hearing was continued for a third time. On January 18th, the commission reviewed the applicant's reduction of the unit count to 37 units. And Mr. Panico requested a rendering of the garage area exterior. And at that time on January 18th, the public hearing was closed. At our February 8th meeting, staff confirmed that the rendering of the garage exterior had not yet been submitted, and we voted to table the discussion due to the affordable housing plan not being finalized. Could staff confirm whether or not that garage exterior elevation has been received?
I personally have not been involved with this project, so I can't answer that one. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. By the time that we have discussion, it's a little after 6:30. Maybe Mr. Rossetti will be with us and can answer that. So, so this is now time that we can discuss this particular application. And I'll start off by saying I feel that this is an appropriate development for the site, and it meets all the requirements of our regulations and our standards. And the 4 affordable housing units that they're doing voluntarily is important. A slight adjustment in the redesign does have the potential of providing 5 affordable units, which is the amount of affordable units called for in our newly adopted affordable housing plan, which we have to remember is a guideline. It is not an ordinance. So how does the rest of the commission feel?
I agree with that, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay. Anything further, Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Okay. All right, who's next?
I'm just trying to look up to see if I could find a new site plan. Not quite sure.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I think, Panico, can you confirm they shifted the footprint of the building a little bit? They did some work on the layout of the parking lots. Didn't that happen?
Right, and they put some parking tucked under the building on the
Right.
end.
Okay.
There's
right,
some
how's-
deferred parking as well. We said
They
there's some
requested
deferred
some deferred parking, right?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, I think that's in the front there on the side.
mhm.
I think they were thinking on the upper level where they had some stacked tandem spaces.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be probably on the right-hand side, wasn't it?
As you face the building on the left-hand side.
Left-hand side, closest to Sunwood.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
westerly side, I guess it would be.
Okay. All right, who else has a comment on this particular application?
Have we mentioned to them we'd really like to have 5 units? Is that something that's been discussed?
No, because at the time that during this time frame since last June, we had just started to write the affordable housing plan, and it wasn't approved by the commission until March, and
Did
we
they-
have not spoken to them since February,
Yeah.
and we have closed the
I
public
didn't
hearing.
review the file, but did they offer the 10% initially?
Yes,
Okay,
that's my recollection is.
that's what I thought too, but I did not go back and review the file.
Okay.
On their final if they approved, if they offered the 10%, then the 3.7 would have been 4 units anyway.
Right.
And you're looking now for 5 units to
According-
satisfy the guidelines.
Uh-huh.
So it's really only one additional unit.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me they could redesign some of their stuff and catch that unit very easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their breakdown is, I jotted it down. They have, they have 11 studios, 21 bedrooms, and 6 2-bedrooms. So,
I mean,
all right, any other comments from any other commissioners, one way or the other? Just to, as I look through our attendance too, there were commissioners that missed sporadic meetings, so you need to make sure that you do feel that you are all acquainted with, for those that missed a meeting or two, that you are well acquainted with this application and you feel qualified to vote on it. So.
So would we be
I
saying
assume
we,
you're intending to arrive at a consensus, Madam Chairman?
Yes, I would hope that we could do that. This has hung on long enough.
yeah,
So Commissioner Mata, what were you?
I
about
was
to
just say, would we just recommend that they consider doing 5 units, but
Mhm.
approve it with 4?
Yeah, we could, that's the whole thing. This is not an ordinance.
Yeah. I just, there's been a long time process here, and they did reduce the number of units to make it a better project on the site.
They did, they certainly did.
I
So,
don't know if we want to, at this, a year? A
Right.
year from the
I mean,
start?
they've worked with us, so.
Yeah.
they definitely have, yeah. All right, Commissioner Laskos, do you have any comments on this particular one? I think you only missed one meeting, so,
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I'm fine with it.
okay. Commissioner Motto, how about you?
Yeah, I'd be fine with saying, pretty please, could you do 5? But if you can't,
Yeah.
go with
Okay.
the 4 that they already agreed to, and
Mhm.
definitely go forward with an approval.
Okay, Commissioner Ticky, about the overall plan, do you have any issues?
I have no issues. I view it favorably.
Okay, very good. Commissioner Nafrio?
Yeah, I spent some time this afternoon because I did miss, I think, 1 or 2 of the meetings where this discussion happened, but I reviewed it this afternoon. I don't have any issues.
Okay. All right, well, it sounds as if we have a consensus for approval of this, so I'll direct staff to prepare a favorable resolution for action by the commission at an upcoming meeting.
With the stipulation of 5 affordable units.
Yes, well, that,
No.
that's just it. I don't think we can stipulate, but we could, maybe you could somehow express that to keep maybe in line with the affordable housing plan that we have approved, that if the applicant could consider a slight modification that would be able to accommodate the number of units that we're looking for in the chart on page 24 of the affordable housing plan.
But staying with the 37 unit.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. All right, so looks like we're done with that one. So we'll go on to review and discussion of application 2217. PDD number 91, Dominic Thomas for Langake's Landing LLC at 1055 Bridgeport Avenue, Assessors Map 2, Lot 8 on 1.7 acres for initial development plan approval for 62 apartments with 77 initial on-site parking spaces and 16 deferred and installed as needed. And again, it's been around for a while, so I'll just remind everyone, the application was accepted for review on September 21st of 2022. Public hearing opened November 16th. The applicant and his architect, the engineer, reviewed the plans for 62 apartments. 5 members of the public spoke. Public hearing was continued to November 16th and again to January 18th, when the commission was able to review a revised site plan, which will show a reduction in unit count from 62 to 52, a reduction in the building's footprint, building height, and changes to the setbacks from both Bridgeport Avenue and Huntington Street, an increase of common space inside the building, additional recreational space, and confirmation that 10% of the units would be designated as affordable housing. So to begin the discussion, I feel that this is an appropriate modification of the PDD that was approved for this site on September 23rd, 2020. So remember, that was supposed to be a gas station and some retail buildings. I feel that the proposal meets all the requirements of our regulations and standards, and the 5 affordable housing units it would include are important. If the commission wished to have the applicant provide for the number of affordable housing units called for in our affordable housing plan, which would be 8, a slight redesign could achieve at least 7 affordable additional units, a total of 7 affordable units. So what comments does the commission want to share about this particular proposal?
This is Commissioner Ticky. I remember when this was in as the gas station and the retail, and there were some concerns around that. And I know that the neighbors had some concerns around the gas station in particular, and with the proximity to, some watershed and some waterways. So I think this is a much better proposal for this piece of land than what the retail spaces would have been with a really active gas station.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Who else would like to comment?
I would agree with Commissioner Ticky, and I think it seems a little late in the game to be going back to them now with a request for more affordable units, frankly. Given that you're saying that to do that, maybe they'd have to kind of redesign the whole thing. I mean, that is something we talked about, but I don't think anything was done about it.
Within the total number, correct?
Yeah. And just let me update everybody and remind everybody, there's 14 studios, 22 1-bedrooms, and 16 2-bedrooms. So that's I think the redesign is something like an internal thing. We're not expecting that the building position be moved or the height.
Actually, they don't even have to redesign it. It's a matter of their financing end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So, yeah, so it's not so much a redesign, but it's an identification, so to speak.
Well, we talked about I think the possibility that on a project like this, like down the road, we could consider a higher density.
Right.
If that would allow the developer to afford more affordable units, but I think we kind of dropped it at that point, that discussion.
Yeah, it would be difficult to inject that into here because when you close the hearing, their last offer was 37 units. I'm sorry, 52 units. With the removal of the underground parking, et cetera.
Right. Mr. Panico, correct me if I'm wrong, but seeing that this is for initial development plan, we still have final development plans to approve.
Yes.
So at that point, the numbers could be presented differently. Is that correct or not?
I ought to just double check the application. And somebody, maybe Alice could check it on the application form as to whether they requested detail as well or just.
I've got paperwork here.
Yeah, okay, on Land Yankee, that's what we're talking about now. It's a modification of PDD 91. Yes, it says initial development plans. Okay. And likewise, the one we just finished is also initial development plan. So both of them are.
Mhm.
Once you've taken an action and we've disposed of this particular application, then there can be some discussions if need be with the applicant.
Okay,
But the commission's going to express its intention of seeking compliance with the recommendations of the affordable housing plan, which is 8 units.
Mhm.
Unless you decide you're going to compromise it. I mean, that's not a negotiable thing, I don't think, at this point in time. So,
Would that have to be a redesign of the interior or?
well, not necessarily. If they stay with their basic plan, it's a matter of as you know, the affordable units must be exactly the same as their regular units.
Correct.
So it's not like you're designing special units for the affordable. Okay, they're not specific earmarked units. It's the total capacity that's available. At least that's my understanding of it.
right. So
Fine. Well,
it's
If,
doable.
on the other hand, if the applicant turns around and starts examining it and comes up with a unique way, he can come back in, discuss with the commission the possibility of modifying his plans in such a way as to recover 1 or 2 more units.
Mhm.
He has started with the 62, and he dropped it to the 52. And maybe there, if we're looking for 2 more affordables, maybe there's a way of him to increasing his density in a reasonable way, but he would have to come back in and present it to the commission.
Mhm.
that would have to be another public hearing.
It would require another public hearing, yes.
Mhm.
'Cause
So
you
we could
can't- you
approve it
cannot
as
increase the
is.
Density without the hearing.
Right. So we could agree that we're okay with the plan as presented. And the applicant could come back if he wanted to, pursue.
Yes, that's
more
exactly
units.
how if there is a consensus to approve, then that's exactly how it'll be written up. That you're
Mhm.
approving as submitted. It's only the allocation of the units that he's proposing to build.
Mhm. Okay,
If he has an economic problem that he thinks he can overcome by a modification of his design within the shell of that building to be able to come up with 1 or 2 additional units that work and the parking, et cetera, that works, then the commission can consider another hearing to modify the density by 1 or 2 more units.
Mhm. Okay,
That makes sense to me.
all right. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Panico on that approach? All right, how do the other commissioners feel? Commissioner Kelly?
Well, I stated, I'm fine with the way it would be written up. Yeah, that's
Okay.
goes with me.
So
All
we're
right,
talking about the eight affordables.
7 or 8.
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8, okay.
Yeah. Commissioner Laskos, how about you?
Yeah, I recall 7. I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, and Commissioner Nafrio?
Yep, I'm okay with the way the plan is, as well as the idea of 7 affordables.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I miss somebody? No, I guess not. Okay, so
So you would like me to write up a favorable report?
I was just gonna say, it appears that there's a consensus, Mr. Panico, so staff is directed to prepare a favorable resolution for action by the commission at an upcoming meeting.
I'm backing up, that they agreed to 10%.
Yes,
But
They agreed to 5 units.
They
Right.
offered 10% upfront, yes, both of those
5
applicants.
units,
Mhm.
right. So for one of these applicants, we're leaving it as
But it's
is,
the-
and
it's
for
the
this
size of
one,
the
we're
unit.
asking for.
It's the size of the
more?
unit, Elaine.
I don't get it.
It's
No,
a
for the
percentage,
first
it's a
one-
percentage of the density of the development.
I know, but
Well, one we're asking for 1 more, right? There's 37, so that would be 4. We're asking for 5.
Your
Mhm.
affordable housing plan has a threshold at 50. So when you exceed 50, it becomes 16%, as opposed to lower than 50, it's 14%.
Yeah, I understand
So
that,
the
but
37 unit development resulted in one more. As it
But-
turned out, and that was because the 37 would have been rounded up to 4 units.
Mhm.
So this one, the 52 is rounded down to 5. Now, when you add in the extra 2% plus the fraction of a unit, it ends up being 8.
Right.
So it's commission's call, though. The affordable housing plan is a guide, and
Mhm.
we're trying to produce as much affordable housing as we can.
Exactly.
As you can see, the state is looking to get very tough.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Thanks
think
to
it's
the
a benefit on our part. I think it's reasonable, and that's the thing, when they come in for final detailed development plans or they request a modification, then we have another time frame that we could discuss this with them.
So if you did 8 and 7 is 7, what do we do with the other one? 5. I mean, if these projects both go forward, you're looking to create 12 or 13 affordable units.
Mhm.
Contrast that with your 8-30G project that you're currently reviewing, which, if approved, would yield 12 units.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're already creating more than half of what that development being forced on you would
Mhm.
generate.
Mhm.
That's what the thrust of your affordable housing plan is, to try to generate more without triggering 8-30G applications.
Right.
Yeah. So I think this is a prudent way to go forward. All right, so I directed staff about preparing the favorable resolution, so we'll move on.
The commission's choice was 7.
I believe that's correct.
I think as I talked to each commissioner, that
Yes.
was pretty much the consensus. Okay,
So I'll write it up on the base of 7. If you
yeah,
change your mind, that's up to you.
okay. All right, third old business agenda item is application 2227, Dominic Thomas for 62 Center Street LLC. At 62 Center Street, Assessors Map 129D, lots 50 and 51, for a modification to PDD number 90 and final site development plans for retail office space with a 5-level parking garage and rooftop restaurant. Public hearing for this application opened January 25th of this year. And that's when the applicant presented a proposal to modify an application that had been approved on March 25th, 2021 for a first floor restaurant and parking, a second floor parking deck, and 42 apartments on 3 upper floors. 2 members of the public spoke. Public hearing was continued to February 16th, when there was a discussion about the railing about the top floor's open deck, changing the appearance of the parking level openings and operating hours. 1 member of the public spoke. Public hearing continued to March 29th, when the applicant's architect commented on the revision to the railing on the top deck, the construction materials and color of the building exterior. The commissioner requested a building rendering from the Center Street side, and 2 members of the public spoke, and on March 29th, we closed the public hearing. Ms. Castro, are you still with us, or is Mr. Rizzo?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So I had a question as to whether or not that rendering had been received.
I can check.
Okay,
Could we bring those renderings up?
sure.
Yes. 1 second.
There was a revision rendering on 3/8/2023.
It was in response, I believe, to a request of the commission when they closed the hearing.
Mhm.
On the color schemes.
Acknowledge that you were
Yes.
going to keep the record open for those. We kept one hearing open for something that was coming in, but maybe it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't.
At any
this-
rate, staff would like to share with the commission
Yep.
the possibilities.
Exactly.
And if Alice could bring up those two elevations that were submitted with two different treatments. See if I can find out what the number is.
The final renderings I have are dated from March 8th. Give me one second.
If you can put them up, I can tell right away if they're the right ones. I didn't bother digging mine out. Okay, I think that was one. Okay. Did you get
Yes.
another one about that same time? That's the same thing.
The construction material, top floor plan.
No, these were not
Yeah,
with
that's
the
not-
original set. They were submitted subsequent to the public hearing for
Right.
staff to look at.
That I don't have the answer to. Hold on one second.
Doesn't look like it.
What?
I'm looking
Can you
at
go back to
mine
that
here. I
schedule?
don't see it. I don't see the other two.
I don't think they've come in. And that's the whole point, that we were looking for a different color treatment.
Correct.
I should have dug mine out. Can you just give me a moment to look for mine?
Sure.
Let's see if I can do this without losing you guys. Number 27. 27.
Yes, excuse me. Let me get this opened. I have a couple in here, so bear with me.
Okay, do you have the one where he submitted alternative samples or samples of the two alternatives
Let's see.
on
I
March
think
the
that's with
8th?
Alex's,
Approximately March
Yes.
the 8th.
Yes.
Okay, on March 8th. Yeah, okay. You and I are jumping together here. I was going to look at one more. Okay. These are the, what you see before you now are photographs of samples of the brick that they propose to use. The red
Right.
brick and the varied brick there.
Sorry.
Now it's a matter of what portion of the exterior we want in which brick. So can we get back to an elevation? Okay, can we hold it at that one for a second?
Okay.
This was one of the options that they were indicating, which was to carry the red brick on the left half and the other brick accentuating the corner. At the same time, that scheme C, is there a scheme D or B? I'm not sure which. That came in with this elevation.
I have a B. One second. This is darker.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
see?
Yeah.
You see the difference? Okay.
Can everybody see that?
yes.
I
That's
see it. I don't know what it's supposed to be showing.
My preference personally is this one.
Yeah. I agree with you. This
Uh,
is standing from, looking at it from across the street from the little brick building that has the employment agency or something there.
Across the street.
Yeah.
It was an alarm
Oh.
building or something.
Yeah.
That's what the view would be from that side, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, can we look at the elevation on the elevation on Quorum?
One second.
Yeah, that would be good. The one you just had, that just flashed through. That's the perspective of the corner.
With the lighter version?
The
No,
latest one that you have.
sorry. There's a lot of tabs open now.
It may be that revised final rendering that you have shown there. Can you open that?
Through the, let's see, okay.
Okay, yes, let's leave it at that for 1 second.
Okay.
If we have them change the front so that the elevation facing Center Street is the red brick with the exception of the accent on the bottom level, I believe it was, right? It's hard to not look at these things side by side.
Yeah, we're the retail, it says retail on it, correct?
Right. But carry that fancy
Right.
brickwork right to the corner if you want, and also carry it down to meet the other one. And then everything above that line, both on both streets, would be red brick.
Even the
You're
glass
saying-
wall on the right?
Yes,
Okay.
So you're saying carry where it says retail on the left, to continue that lighter brick all the way over
you
to
could
the left?
Horizontally.
horizontally on the front and horizontally on the Coram Avenue side to where it meets the principal
But
feature,
just on the lower level,
just on the lower level.
on both
And everything
directions.
above that would all be red brick.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That makes sense.
I think
One of the
that's
features
better.
about this particular elevation that I hadn't noticed until just now was the treatment of the above the top row of windows where you have, are those cornices? Is that what those are called, Mr. Panico?
Dormers.
The cornice stays the same. All that cornice work is unchanged.
Yeah, the cornice. work.
No, he's
Yeah.
talking about the dormers, you're right.
Dormers.
No, I'm not talking about the dormers. I'm talking about those little angled things under the
Oh.
edge of the roof line.
Everything that you see in the lighter colored brick on the corner there, with the exception of the first band,
Yeah,
would all be red.
right.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that those cornices, I think, are very nice, and that sort of puts it into something that's more in line with other buildings downtown, because that,
Not only that, but it accomplishes an important function where the commission was concerned around the patio area for debris that might be thrown over the side, et cetera. And they were they developed a detail showing, I think it was 18 inches or so of plexiglass.
Right,
So you had the combination of that plexiglass screen, plus there was a ledge outside that plexiglass screen. So it would be kind of an effort to try to throw something from up there down to the street.
right,
I mean, you could, but you don't know where it's going to go.
yeah,
It would not be anything that would be done accidentally. It would have to be something deliberate.
oh, for sure. Okay. All right, any commissioners have any other further comments about?
how about the window treatments? What were he did extend them on all corners, didn't he?
Yeah, we had
The
said. we
window
wanted this-
treatments would be the way they're shown, I would assume.
Yeah, we
those are-
wanted it to look more like an office building, not like a parking garage.
Right.
Right,
Yeah, and I think they've moved towards that, for sure.
but he still doesn't show the other side facing Howe Avenue. Was that going to be open or will they be?
Well, I'm not sure. I was looking for that answer myself.
Okay,
And it's not evident on the drawing, so the commission can decide what it wants and simply dictate it.
I
yeah,
think we should see what the
You
applicant
want,
wanted to
from what I
propose.
understand, you apparently want a consistent window treatment all the way around.
well, I would think so. I
Yes.
mean, you're coming down your main street
Mhm.
and you're looking at a parking garage. An open parking garage. I mean, I understand there was the 52% had to be ventilated. But with the screens around, I would think that would be enough ventilation, no?
I don't recall, and I don't have the details in front of me as to exactly how those openings are being treated. The appearance of them
It looks like a mesh. doesn't
looks
it?
to be some kind of a mesh.
Right.
I think what I can do is if the commission wants me to write up modification of that PDD, I can. And if so, I can have them clarify that point.
Okay. That's a good
Mhm.
idea.
Yep. Exactly. And one of the things too is, as Charlie indicated, coming from Howe Avenue, this is a building that's exposed on all four sides. It's not as if it's going to be between two high-rise currently existing buildings. So it is critical that the exterior treatment from the other direction look as good as this one does.
Correct.
So, all right, any further comments by the commission? Okay, should I gather from our conversation that we have a consensus for staff to prepare a favorable resolution?
I would say so.
I would too.
Okay. Any commissioner not thinking along that line?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, well, hearing none, staff is directed to prepare a favorable resolution for action by the commission at an upcoming meeting.
Okay, and in the meantime, I'll try to make some contact with the applicant and get clarification on those opening treatments.
Great, that would be appreciated. Okay, all right, next is other business, and we have a request to release the $10,000 soil and erosion bond for 40 Waterview Drive. Ms. Castro, or there's Mr. Rossetti. So Mr. Rossetti, do you have any comments on this particular agenda item?
Good evening. Sorry I'm a bit tardy this evening. This is for a project that the commission approved a while ago over on Waterview Drive. We had a slight issue on the south bank that was fixed up by the applicant, and it's been a whole year since that issue, and we're confident that the site is stable and would like to release the funds.
Okay, this is this the big warehouse building?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. And is this the one that's next to the Mercantile building?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. All right. So this is on the outside perimeter of Waterview Drive, not the Pitney Bowes inner circle.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. All right. So is there a motion to approve the release of the $10,000 soil and erosion bond?
I'll make that motion to approve the release of the bond.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Commissioner Lascos.
Thank you. So on the motion to release the 10,000 soil and erosion bond for 20 Waterview Drive made by Commissioner Kelly and seconded by Commissioner Lascos. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Nafrio.
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki.
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos.
Aye.
Commissioner Motto.
Aye.
And the chair, Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Next is an update on the proposal to amend the zoning regs for the use of native plants and landscaping for commercial projects. I did get in touch with the owners of a landscaping company in the area who uses native plantings in its designs to let them know what our May meeting schedule would be. And they are very interested in speaking with the commission, but they have not gotten back to me since middle of last week. So I'll pursue that. And also with Commissioner Motto's help, I'd like to reach out to the author of the book that she recommended to see if that particular person would be available as well.
Yeah, I already, I contacted him and got back to me immediately. This is Douglas
Good.
Talamy, who's done a lot of writing on this subject. He's a professor of entomology at University of Delaware, I believe. He said it just depends on when, the time and the day, but he would do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking even if he can't, he said he does something like this almost every day.
Oh, all right.
So we'd
Mhm.
have to know if he
All right.
could fit it into a schedule. So we have to get back to him with particulars when we're ready to do that. And I was wondering even if he could, if we can't accommodate, if the date doesn't work out, maybe we could get something kind of pre-recorded from him possibly
Mhm. That's true.
to use.
Well, Commissioner Amato, I'm going to authorize you to reach out again to the author and to share with him our meeting schedule for May and June, and to also offer the alternative approach of having something pre-recorded.
Yeah. So I'm assuming though, well, I haven't talked to Alex again, to kind of think about, I assume we're not going to have a public hearing until we have a proposal, more of a concrete proposal.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is all information gathering, some
Yeah.
background research, and so forth. So
So you want to have that presentation before we have a public hearing? Is that
I believe, yeah.
hearing? Okay.
Yep. Okay, now, at the recent meeting, I did also request that staff compile some information on what other communities have done and to assemble some proposed regulations to consider for adoption. Mr. Rossetti, do you have any information to share with us about that?
I've reached out to a couple of budding towns. I heard back from Fairfield and from Trumbull. Fairfield sent me a link. I haven't had the chance to review it yet. I don't think it's a regulation from them. I believe it's part of their conservation group about pollinators and native species. Trumbull, I will have to re-examine as well, but I will be compiling more information for you guys, and especially if I can find anything in a zoning regulation, or if you guys come across anything, I will certainly add it to the list and try and compile it so it's something we can all process and add into our regulations for new site plans. I like the material that Elaine already sent over for definitions of native species and of invasive species, so we can easily include those as items to either be remediated for an incoming project, and meaning the invasives, and for native species to be required for any incoming project. But I would like to see how that's implemented, so I will keep working on it, and I will perhaps also reach out to the Valley COG to see if they have any thoughts.
That's a good idea. I think, one of the things that we'll have to discuss is what the definition of native is, because that's kind of controversial among some people who are trying to do real restoration work, which I don't think is what we're trying to do here.
No.
Some people say, oh, it's only Connecticut plants or only Fairfield County plants, that you should use. And people go to very big different ideas on this. And my own thinking is Northeast, make it more general. And the other thing would be, are there cultivars? Some people don't want to see any deviation from a pure native. And personally, I think there could be more flexibility. And also even maybe percentages, to say maybe 80% natives, or I'd rather see 100%, but those are the things we could talk about. The other thing is lawns, because there's really no such thing as a native lawn. So I'd just like to throw that out there.
Elaine,
Yeah.
were you thinking that the commission should get involved in anything beyond when we review and approve site plans?
No.
I mean, were you thinking of some kind of an ordinance that would apply to the average homeowner that?
Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
this is only for
So
commercial.
we're
No.
talking about the stuff that comes before us.
Just commercial projects, right?
Just
I
wanted to
mean,
make
I
that
would,
clear.
I wouldn't be opposed to the city doing the same on city properties, but I think going to home properties, that's way beyond anything I would ever expect to be possible.
Right. It's a matter of that, the knowledge of what could potentially be appropriate for a residential, we could start giving as examples for commercial. there must be things out there that would be very appropriate for residential, but people just
Yeah.
don't understand the concept.
Don't know. Yeah, right.
Well, we obviously, the way Alex and I were talking about it, we would probably Alex will probably come up with something that would be applicable anytime we have the function of approving a landscape plan.
Right.
Which means that when we get multifamily proposals, they're residential, but they're going to be subject to whatever we write, or whatever Alex writes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I know when Audubon went in, I selected the street trees, and I was thinking native then, so I proposed red oaks and shadblow, and that's what was put in, but the individual homeowners mostly killed them.
Oh, no.
Yeah. One way or another, they managed.
Oh, gee.
So
Oh,
there's one oak
Maybe
left.
it ought to extend into the street department too.
Yeah.
If we're going to put in street trees under the street department
Yeah.
division.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we'll start here, right?
exactly.
It'll
Okay.
take time, but
Unless we start, we can't finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No,
all
I
right,
appreciate everybody's interest and support on this very much.
no, you're very welcome. It was a good proposal, Commissioner Amato. So I'd just like to target the May 24th meeting for an update as to
Okay.
how we progress with setting up our experts, and also for further information that staff would be gathering from the towns that they have reached out to. Okay, any questions on that? All right, so moving on, next are short-term rentals, and I have not yet contacted Commissioner Kelly or Commissioner Tiki to review this topic there, because the three of us are the special subcommittee to look into whether or not our regulations and to determine if we need to recommend changes to the commission. So I will be in touch with those two commissioners. Do either Commissioner Kelly or Commissioner Tiki have any comments about that? What our project is?
No, not at this time.
Okay, very good. All right, so now we'll move on to comments from the chair and the subcommittee chairs. Just an FYI that I attended yesterday morning's meeting of the executive committee of the Shelton Economic Development Commission. And the staff of the SPZC will be doing contract administration work for the reconstruction of Constitution Boulevard. The first project in its residential rehab program has been completed. 2 more projects are out for bid. 2 more projects are in the queue to be processed. SPZC staff has applied for a community challenge grant, another one from the Connecticut Recreational Trails Program, and one in the area of energy efficiency and conservation. And they should hear if a grant, any of those 3 grants have been awarded within the next few months. So Commissioners Kelly and Amato, do you have any comments for subcommittee issues?
No, the assigned committee, we continue to meet monthly before our regular meeting.
Good. Okay. All right, Mr. Rossetti, any comments from the staff?
I believe Ms. Castro has an update for some folks.
Okay.
Hello, so we have been diligently working on our OpenGov online permitting software. We've been working on some kinks, so you guys should all receive an email from me this weekend asking for you guys to go in through the public side and create some sort of permit for whatever you want. We have residential building permits, we have commercial building permits, and we also have business applications. So I encourage everyone to try to make as many applications as possible and navigate through and see what works for you and doesn't. And we can see if we're able to adjust based on the comments that you guys are making.
Mm-hmm.
That does not sound like fun.
Sorry. You know, it's pretty fun. I've enjoyed working on it. We do have portions where you'll have to get staff comment back. So I'd like just some comments on both sides, what it was like filling out the application and navigating through the process, and then the communication between staff,
Mhm.
so that we can just work out from there.
Are we gonna pay a monetary filing fee?
I'll consider waiving the fee.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, any
So this
questions?
is all mock, you're not.
Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
all mock. You can use whatever address you want, but if you can use your actual name, so I'm tracking who's doing stuff.
Yeah, don't do it as anonymous.
Build on your neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Maybe Griffin Harger will do an application.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Castro? All right, so we'll move on to approval of meeting minutes. Does anyone have any comments or changes for the April 12th, 2023 minutes? I have none myself.
Yeah, they looked okay to me.
Mhm.
Yes, I have a change there. This is Commissioner Nafrio. It currently lists me as present, but I was in
Oh, yeah.
Italy and I was not here in country, so that
Okay,
needs to be modified.
all right. You were excused then. In attendance, all right. Thank you for picking that up. I do usually compare the attendee list with my chart, and I didn't this time. So, anybody else for April 12th? Okay, so is there a motion to approve with the changes for the April 12th minutes?
Make a motion to approve with
Okay.
the modification of
Okay.
attendance for Mr. Nafrio.
All right, is there a second?
Commissioner Ticky will second.
Thank you. So on the motion to approve made by Commissioner Amato and seconded by Commissioner Ticky, and that's an approval with the change of the attendance for Commissioner Onofrio. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio.
I'll abstain, please.
Okay, and the chair votes aye, and the motion has passed by vote 5-0-1. All right, so does anyone have any comments or changes for the April 19th minutes?
Looked okay to me.
I had none myself. Okay, so is there a motion to approve the April 19th minutes as submitted?
Commissioner Kelly, he'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second. Commissioner
Okay,
Amato.
Commissioner Amato was second. So on the motion to approve the April 19th minutes as submitted, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Onofrio,
I'll abstain as I was still away traveling.
okay. Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 5-0-1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, seeing that there is no other item on the agenda, the chair declares this evening's meeting is adjourned at 7:22 p.m. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. And that's the hybrid meeting in City Hall and Zoom. Have a good evening, everyone.
Have a good evening.